All right, good afternoon. This is Math with Mr. Samuels. So today we are going to be doing our video slightly differently. Instead of me typing along with you on the notes, I am going to be doing it through a PowerPoint that I made that goes with the notes. So as a result, you just still need to do it the same exact way. You're going to follow along with the notes. And then one thing you'll notice is the notes, the PowerPoint is formatted in the exact same way that our notes are formatted. So all you have to do is just simply follow along. So let's go ahead and begin. The first question we have is, what do exponents show? Okay, what do exponents show? An exponent show repeated multiplication. That's all exponents show. Exponents show repeated multiplication. So what does a power mean? I know sometimes you probably heard power. This is to the second power. This is to the third power. What does power mean? Well, power is just another way to say exponents. That another way to say exponents. So that's all it is. It's just kind of like a nickname. The same way all of us have many different nicknames. Power is just another nickname for exponent. Okay, so how many parts does a power have? How many parts does an exponent have? How many parts does a power have? Same exact thing. Exponent has two parts. A power has two parts: a base and an exponent. Okay, so if we're looking at this example, sorry about that. The base on this example is 5. 5 is the base. 2 is the exponent. So once again, 5 is the base, 2 is the exponent. Okay, make sure that you're filling out your notes and filling in that underlined word. 5 is the base, 2 is the exponent. Okay, so how do we read exponents? Let's go ahead and progress. How do we read exponents? We read them like so: 12 to the first power, or 12 with 1, power 1 is read 12 to the first power. And the value of that is just 12. 6 squared, this is how we read anything to the second power, or you can say 6 to the second power, or 6 squared. It really means 6 times 6. And 6 times 6 is 36. Okay? -7 to the fourth power is really read -7 to the fourth power. Okay? Or you can also say -7 to the fourth. Okay, -7 to the fourth power. And that just simply means -7 times -7 times -7 times -7. And what we have there is 2,401. And last but certainly not least, 4 to the third power. Okay, this is read one or two ways: 4 to the third power, or you could say 4 cubed. Okay, because anything raised to the third power really also means cubed. And that just means 4 times 4 times 4, which is really just 64. Okay. Keeping it moving. So how do we simplify exponents? We simplify exponents. To simplify exponent, you multiply the base by itself, the number of times that it's shown by the power. So what does that mean? So for example, we're going to have 7 to the third power, really just means 7 times 7 times 7. Okay, 7 to the third power really means 7 times 7 times 7. So you can work on the next example by yourself, or all of these by yourself. Okay, I'm going to show you the next one. Let me go back. 2 to the fifth power would really mean 2, that's 1, times 2, that's another one, times 2, that's 3, times 2, that's 4, times 2, that's 5. And 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 will really just be 8 times 4, which is 32. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to attempt 3, 4, 5, and 6 on your own. We're going to talk about them in class, but let me do this variable one with you. It's still the exact same thing, and you could do the other one by yourself. X to the third. If 2 to the fifth meant 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, then x to the third really means x times x times x. 3x's being multiplied by each other, which really just is x to the third power. Okay, so go ahead and finish those examples on your own, and we're going to progress. So what if the exponent is 0? Okay, if the exponent is 0, then the value is always 1. So that's one of the rules that you all are going to have to remember. Any number that's written to the 0 exponent is always 1. Any number raised to the 0 power is always 1. So, for example, guess what? 3 to the 0 is 1. 10 to the 0 is 1. 2,000 to the 0 is 1. Okay, anything raised to the 0 power is always going to be 1. Anything raised to the 0 power is always going to be 1. So another example you can have is 1 million raised to the 0 power. Guess what that is? That is still just 1. Okay, keeping it moving. Well, that is the end of our notes. Okay, everything else you are responsible to complete on your own. Okay, we are going to make sure that we discuss this in class. Okay, the only other thing that we need to talk about are negative exponents, and I will talk about that in class. But make sure you complete that 3rd page. Okay, powers of 10. We're also going to talk about that in class. This has been Math with Mr. Samuels. Make sure that you press done at the end of this video. Make sure you turn it in and press done at the end of this video. Once again, this has been Math with Mr. Samuels. Have a wonderful weekend. Hopefully you do your homework and have a great weekend.